Hello and welcome to our presentation on our recent paper, Blockchain and Cryptocurrency in Human-Computer Interaction, a systematic literature review and research agenda. We're happy to present this here at the Designing Interactive Systems Conference 2022. Here on the right, you can see a QR code and the link to our paper if you want to download it and read along. This project was done by a joint group of researchers from different universities, the CDTM, the Center for Digital Technology and Management in Munich, which is a joint institution of the TUM, the Technical University of Munich, and the Ludwig-Maximilians University, and the University of the Bundeswehr in Munich, as well as Lancaster University. So what was our motivation behind conducting this literature review? Over the past decade, cryptocurrencies and blockchains as a field have developed tremendously. We've seen the emergence of Ethereum, smart contracts, and their iteration in newer blockchains like Cosmos, Polkadot, or Solana. Yet it is still widely agreed that the technology lags behind with regards to usability. So our motivation here was to consolidate the knowledge that the HCI community had brought forward and to understand how this field developed, what are current themes and issues, and what are potentially interesting future research avenues where our field can contribute to. We approached this with a classic literature review design. We used the Prisma framework and started out with a keyword search across ACM, IEEE, and Springer Link. We included all articles up to the point of our keyword search, which was July 2021. This resulted in around 1,400 articles, already including those added through forward search of the final results. Through stepwise screening, first title and abstract, and then going more deeper into the full text, we ended up with 99 relevant articles. We coded the identified papers in several iterations along different categories. Bibliometrics, contributions, used methods, which cryptocurrencies and blockchains they looked at, and whether they framed the research question with regards to cryptocurrencies or blockchains. Now, these are not all of them, but based on these different categories, we in the end identified 6 salient themes: trust in trustless systems, cryptocurrencies, their motivation, risks, and perceptions, cryptocurrency wallets, blockchains and engaging users with it, specific application use cases for blockchains, and support tools for blockchains. Now, already the naming, you can see that there is a chasm between cryptocurrencies, a focus on them, and a focus on blockchains. We tried to capture this in a figure. Here you can see the different themes in different lanes and all the papers assigned to them. In green, you see the cryptocurrency papers, or those that approach their research looking at the cryptocurrencies, versus the papers in red have a blockchain focus. Looking at this, it becomes evident that these different foci, blockchain versus cryptocurrency, actually address different issues. Now, for example, let's look at cryptocurrency motivation, risk, and perception. This is very much about understanding cryptocurrency users, not so much blockchain users though. Compared to that, specific application use cases, building with blockchain, prototype with blockchain, almost always looks at it from a blockchain perspective. Now, what can we learn from that? I think to dive in there in depth, you have to read the paper. Instead, I want to take the time to focus on the discussion. Taking a step back, what can we really learn from the state of HCI research on cryptocurrency and blockchain? If we look into practice, we can see that blockchain ecosystems have brought forward many innovations over the past years. We've moved from Bitcoin to smart contract blockchains like Ethereum to now a second iteration of them with Solana, Cosmos, Terra, or Polygon. Many projects reaching maturity that improve over the original usability issues the design of Ethereum and Bitcoin brings with them, namely slow and expensive transactions. Interaction with blockchains and smart contracts has been gaining maturity. There are interfaces now, Web3 if you want so, that move interacting with blockchains, increasing through the browser, and make it more accessible to users. DeFi or NFTs have emerged as recent phenomena, attracting new groups of users that are more interested in the use case than the technology behind it. Looking at the HCI research, we find that we lag behind the developments in practice. Most extant literature focuses on Bitcoin or Ethereum. We didn't find any papers really taking these new interactive blockchains and doing research on them. Web3 and its connected phenomena like NFT and DeFi is still under research. This also has to do with the fact that our literature review stopped in July 2021 before NFTs exploded in the summer. This is not to say they weren't there before. And overall, little prototyping has been done with regards to decentralized application or cryptocurrency wallets as the entry gate to the blockchain ecosystems. So what does this mean for future research? There's still plenty to improve on, where the HCI community and interaction designers can contribute to. First, we need to get a better understanding of who blockchain users really are. Because right now we treat them as one, but first empirical research has shown that actually they are different groups. And arguably this continues as true Bitcoiners are not the same group of users with the same motivation as the current group of users joining because of NFTs. So we differentiate a bit more and need to better understand those sub-communities. The same goes for decentralized autonomous organizations. Bring a totally different form of working towards goals in digital, but also in the physical space with them. And it's interesting to explore the tension between trust and pseudonymity and how these tensions are managed by increasingly large groups. Finally, diversity and inclusion have been long-standing topics in our community, and yet we do not understand why the majority of cryptocurrency and blockchain users, the overwhelming majority, as reported by our studies, is male. A second point where the interaction design community can make a real difference is to generate and create new and better concepts for wallets. Empirical research so far has brought forward design implications, but never tested them. And arguably we can only test them if we build. We need to differentiate here between hardware wallets, mobile wallets, and browser wallets. Our future research should do, because at the moment we know a little bit about mobile wallets, but very little about the other two. And finally, there's opportunity to build interfaces that help users transition from custodial wallets, such as, let's say, Coinbase, that manage the keys for users, to non-custodial wallets that require more responsibility and effort on the user side, but arguably offer also more flexibility. Not all users might want that, but still helping them transition is important, because once you make a mistake and lose your keys, then truly your money is gone. And that's high risk at stake. Finally, we also need to move beyond Bitcoin as a community. It is the largest cryptocurrency, but arguably there's a much bigger design space to engage with smart contract application blockchains. And this is also where we can now, with new blockchains like Solana and Cosmos or Polygon, build truly interactive blockchain applications. This also means that we need to engage with contemporary phenomena like NFT or DeFi that arguably have brought in an increasingly high number of users, eclipsing those of past users that joined just because of cryptocurrency. So understanding, prototyping, and exploring the design space about NFTs can be hugely interesting. This connects also back to the last point, understanding identity on the ledger. One part of this is self-sovereign identity, logging in with your wallet address instead of an email address and password, and the reputation behind that's stored on the blockchain. But an additional opportunity is to chart the design space for expression of digital identity. What could that look like? Well, right now, people are already using NFTs as profile pictures or expressing themselves purely through their online personas. How could this develop in the future? And what could it be used for? Well, this is up for the interaction design community to explore. Thank you for listening to this talk, and I hope you find our paper interesting. You can download it here.